leaving school before that happened. Her plan had been to marry young so that she could enjoy her children. Never in her wildest dreams had she envisaged reaching the age of 34 still single and without her Mr. Wonderful anywhere in sight. But that was how her life had panned out. Sometimes Scarlet simply couldn't believe it. Shaking her head, she stripped off her dressing gown, then turned her attention to the outfit which she'd already laid out on the bed earlier that morning. A purple woolen tunic dress, black silk polo underneath, black tights and black ankle boots. It didn't take her long to dress. She'd already showered and blow-dried her hair, after which she made her way along to the main bathroom to put her hair up and do her makeup. Neither job took Scarlet all that long. At 34, she had her grooming routine down pat. The sight of the finished product in the large vanity mirror brought a puzzled frown to her forehead. Why, she wondered for the umpteenth time, had it come to this? It wasn't as though she was an ugly girl. She was very attractive, with a pretty face, cute nose, full lips, blonde hair, and a good figure. Okay, so her breasts were on the smaller side, but she looked great in clothes, being tall and slender. On top of that, she had a bright, outgoing personality. People liked her. Men liked her. Despite that, she'd had a lot of trouble finding herself a steady boyfriend over the years. In hindsight, Scarlet now realized that her choice of career hadn't helped, but that hadn't occurred to her at the time. Not wanting to leave home and the Central Coast, she'd taken a hairdressing apprenticeship in the salon where her mother had worked, a move which had confounded a lot of people. She had, after all, achieved very high marks in her exams and could have pursued some high-flying profession such as communications or law if she'd wanted to. But becoming a journalist or a lawyer was not what Scarlet wanted out of life. She had other priorities, which didn't include more years of studying and even more years clawing her way up the ladder to what some people thought of as success in life. At the same time, she did want an interesting job, which she enjoyed. Despite her teacher's warnings to the contrary, Scarlet had loved being a hairdresser, had loved the camaraderie with her co-workers and clients, loved the feel-good feeling which came with completing a colour or a cut, not just adequately, but brilliantly. She soon gained a great reputation as a stylist, and by 25 she and her mother had opened their own salon in a small shopping centre not far from Erina Fair. They would have preferred to locate their salon in Erina Fair, the shopping hub of the Central Coast, but the rents there were way too high. Because of their loyal clientele, their business had still been a huge success. But only on the financial front. Scarlet eventually had begun to see that being a hairdresser with mainly female clients was not conducive to meeting members of the opposite sex. Being an only child with no siblings wasn't an asset either. Maybe if she'd had an older brother. Not that she didn't try to meet men in other ways. For years she'd maintained a group of girlfriends from her school days, and they went out regularly together to parties, clubs, and pubs, where, for some perverse reason, she would always be hit upon by the type of good-looking sleazebag who was only interested in one thing, though she didn't work this out till she'd been burned a few times. One by one she watched as her girlfriends found nice guys to marry, mostly through their more diverse careers or family connections. Scarlet had been a bridesmaid so many times she began to dread weddings, not to mention the after-wedding parties where her married friends always tried to hook her up with some guy who was usually drunk and was only there to have sex with at least one of the bridesmaids. When the last of her unmarried girlfriends had found her future husband on an internet dating site, Scarlet had tried that method, but it had been an unmitigated disaster. For some reason, she still seemed to attract the wrong type, who only wanted the one thing.